Hi, this is Michael Buckhoff from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and right now I want to share with you just a really short TOEFL tip. I have a student right now in one of my TOEFL classes. She comes from Turkey, and she has read, believe it or not, all of the Harry Potter books in English, and right now she's working on the Twilight books. If you guys remember, there's a movie that just came out, Twilight, which has to do about vampires and romance and that kind of thing. But she reads all of these books in English. Now, why does she do this? I think this is really important in building your overall English proficiency, is by reading hundreds of pages each week. It builds your vocabulary, your grammar, your reading fluency. It's very, very important. She can improve her reading speed and her concentration by reading these novels. Now, as you guys know, that reading on the TOEFL iBT is pretty important. You have a reading section, which can be 60 to 90 minutes long. You have reading during the speaking section, in which case you'll have what's called some campus-related passages. You also have some academic passages. You have to be able to read these things in about 45 seconds and understand what you read and take notes on what you read. Now, even during the writing section of the TOEFL, you'll have an academic reading passage, and you'll have to read that, and then you'll listen to a lecture, and you have to kind of connect the two sources together. So the student that I was telling you about that's reading these longer novels in English, it will be very easy for her to get a very, very high score on the TOEFL test, because right now she's almost a native speaker. So when she gets on the TOEFL test and she has to read these 800-word reading passages, her reading speed is already over 350 words a minute. It'll be very easy for her to complete the reading tasks and answer the questions and read during the speaking and during the writing and complete those tasks within the given time constraint that she has. So the bottom line is, if you want to improve your TOEFL score, it's important for you to read longer novels. I'm not talking about articles. I'm talking about books or novels which are 3 or 4 or even 500 or 600 pages long. This really does build your overall English proficiency in the new language. So what are you going to do after watching this video? You're going to go out to a bookstore, go to the library, and check out a good book. And remember, read something that you're interested in. You may not be interested in vampires or romance or fantasy type things. You might be interested in something else. So make sure whatever it is you read something which interests you.
If you've gotten to the end of this video, you are probably convinced that reading longer books is very important to helping you pass the TOEFL iBT. So, I've taken you to a website. The website is called barnesandnoble.com. Now, this is a bookstore in the United States that sells all kinds of books. You'll notice it has books, DVDs, music, textbooks, magazines, toys and games, gifts, gift cards, and so on. I recommend you go to the book section. You click on that, and then you will see some books. It'll show you what new releases have come out, and you can check on, I would recommend here, Bestsellers. Let's click on that. And once you go to this section, you'll see some of the books that people in the United States are reading right now. Now, these are written for adults, so it's using college level vocabulary. For the most part, you'll get used to all kinds of common vocabulary expressions and so on. Notice the #1 bestseller right now. It's kind of sad, but it's called Ultimate Depression Survival Guide. Wow, what does that tell you about the economy? #2 is the Twilight Saga collection. This is the one that I was telling you about. The student in my TOEFL class, she's reading all of these books right here. Let me just kind of scroll down. You can see some of the books. Breaking Dawn, Liberty, Tyranny, Eclipse, and so on. So what you're trying to do here is get used to English by reading. And it's a good idea to read these kinds of books, probably one of these books a month or two of these books a month would be really good practice to help you build your overall English fluency skills. Now another website you might be interested in, this you can actually get free literature books. It's called Bibliomania.com. See that? Let's see how it works. First, you go to read. You click on that. A new link comes up. It says free online literature. So let's say you want to read and you got fiction, poetry, short stories, drama, interviews, articles, and so on. Let's say you want to do fiction. You click on that. Now these are the greatest American writers over the last century. So let's say that you want to read, this is definitely college level material. So you want to read Charles Dickens here. So you click on that and it gives you all of his books. Check that out. So let's say you want to read Great Expectations. Look at this. It gives you a summary and then you have the table of contents. You click on the chapter and here it is, the book right there. You can read all the chapters directly online. Now, so in addition to going to Barnes & Noble and getting maybe a bestseller, if you really want to get some literature type books, you can go to Bibliomania.com.